Hi everyone, welcome to Kanikapila. Welcome to Kanikapila. Welcome to Kanikapila. It's a Monday night. Hope you're all keeping well. Here's a question for you. What have George Harrison, the Rolling Stones, Cyndi Lauper, and I've forgotten the last one. What have they all got in common? They're all featured on Kanikapila Monday tonight. Woo! We've got a really unusual mixed bag for you tonight, but I'm really excited. A very loose theme of time. We've got Time Is On My Side by the Rolling Stones, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. How could I have forgotten? The Times They Are A-Changing by Bob Dylan as well. And then a little bit of George Harrison at the end for fun. So yeah, it's going to be fun tonight. Hope you're all keeping well. The sun is shining. It's gone like super hot here today. So t-shirts out, cardigans away. It's all good. How is it where you guys are? Hope you're all doing well. Just whilst waiting for people to arrive, let me tell you about what we've got going on this week. So this Wednesday is our next live lesson. So it's exciting. It seems to have come around really quickly this time, which is fantastic. Let me see if I can bring it on the screen and show you guys. We're going to do all about line cliche. That's those little kind of hidden melodies that you get in songs, in things such as Something, funnily enough, by George Harrison, and It Don't Mean a Thing, Blue Skies, and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to have a go at line cliches. I'm going to explain what they are, in a lot of detail. Then we're going to play a few songs featuring line cliches, specifically Blue Skies and It Don't Mean a Thing. And then I'm going to show you how to really emphasise it with touch strums and things like that. So that's this Wednesday, which is really exciting, which will be really good. And then I'm trying to decide what to do for 2 weeks. It'd be quite interesting to have your feedback. Everyone quite enjoyed the Clawhammer one, so I was wondering about doing another Clawhammer tune. I don't know what you guys think to that. Perhaps let me know. You can always let me know in the comments. As always, make sure you've got your live chat enabled so you can comment along like all these lovely folks are right now, which is fantastic. Great to see everyone. It looks like everyone's got nice weather where they are, so it's good. The universe has finally decided to settle down, which is great. So yeah. Oh, you're in London, Steve. Wow, nice. London's always hot this time of year. It gets really muggy, doesn't it? I think that all the tarmac and everything just reflects the heat. Hi, Sheila. I'm guessing it's quite warm over in Oahu. You have to let us know. Oh, and Lisa says yes, please to Clawhammer. So that's good. At least that's one. So fantastic. That'll be me and Lisa if no one else. No, I'm only joking. It'll be loads of fun. So let's just pop up the sheets for today and I'll talk you about what we're going to talk you through what we're going to do. If you haven't done it before, you're new to Kanikapila, just ask questions in the comments. And I mean, that applies to everyone anyway. So if there's anything you're not sure of, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be honest and I'll hopefully tell you where you can find it. Okay. So here's our sheets. You can still download these. They're completely free to download. Thanks to Esther, Karen and Indrani for all your work on these. I think Karen took the reins up this week on the tables and everything's much appreciated. And we've got some photos from Indrani, which is really fantastic. So that's brilliant. Right, so a repeat of my showboating lesson. Oh, okay, Karen. That could be arranged. Yeah. Okay. All right. By the end of today, we'll have to do a vote. Showboating or Clawhammer. We'll put them against each other and see what it means. See what we decide. Oh, thanks, Sheila. Yeah, it's going to be nice and warm for you next month, hopefully. So, and we'll have lots of the summer butterflies out. So when we go on our walk, I'll show you all the cool butterflies, which would be great. Okay then, folks, let's have a look at our first song. We'll have a bit of a break halfway through and have a bit of a chat, see how you're all doing and everything. So we're going to start with a tune by the Rolling Stones. Well, I say it's by the Rolling Stones, and this is why Karen's fascinating facts are always brilliant, because I had no idea that it wasn't actually a Rolling Stones song. And it's been, apparently the authorship's gone to, was a bit kind of debatable, and it's gone to various people, including Norman Mead and Jerry Ragavoy, which I think I read today are actually the same person. I think that's the stage name. And the first instrumental was by Kai Winding and his orchestra in 1963, with backing vocals by sisters Dee Dee and Dionne Warwick. Oh, Dionne Warwick. So really, really fascinating. I guess it's a Rolling Stones cover, which makes sense because most of their early songs were covers, weren't they? So yeah, cool beans. And this one was off their album Rolling Stones No. 2. It's an imaginative title, isn't it, for a second album? Love it. This one, I'm going to say from the off, because this is really important. This one is in 6/8 timing. So you know how normally when we count our chord boxes along, I would say count to 4. Well, 6/8 time, we're going to count to 6, basically. I love it, Harry. Oh man, it's so exciting. We're going on a cruise. We're going on a cruise. I'll tell everyone about it in the break, Harry. Love it. Okay, so yeah, this one. So there's 6 beats in every measure in this one, or every box, basically. And the 8 down the bottom just means they're played as quavers. Now, of course, the tempo kind of alters how fast you would do them anyway, but think of them as fairly brief downstrums. So at its most simplest, what we can do is we can hold a chord, let's say a C chord, and we can do straight 8 strums, just coming down with nails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an interesting time signature, 6/8 time. People often think it's just like 3/4 time doubled up, but it has a different feel because 6/8 time has 2 pulses in a measure, a strong one and a weak one. Quite often a drummer will play a bass drum on the strong beat on 1, and then a cymbal or a hi-hat on 4, like bum, 2, 3, 5, 6, bum, 2, 3, 5, 6. So it has a kind of quite a strung out feel to it, which is really nice. And I think it really kind of, it works with the kind of the meanness of the lyrics. It's really interesting when we get to this bit down here where it goes to the kind of tension. It works really beautifully. So don't worry about the intro. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. But let's have a look at one of the verses. This is the bit that everyone knows, right? Let me just get my key. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's the bit that everyone knows, right? So what you're going to do at its most basic is just strum down 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Twice on a G. Once on a C. Once on a D. Join in with me if you like. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Now, if you want to make things a little bit more interesting, what you can do is put some up strums in. So another nice thing to do is down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That's really nice because it gives you 2 pulses per measures, the 2 big downs. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So that would sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 down. But if in doubt, if you get stuck and you're not sure, just go back to your straight 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now this does, I mean, for the verse, it's relatively straightforward chords as well, isn't it? You probably know from Kanikapila now that the most common chords that we have in all of music are the 1 and the 5 chords. And the next most common chord is the 4 chord, which is that C in this case. So 1 chord being G, that's your home chord where everything feels resolved. 4 chord G, A, B, C being C, that creates a sense of movement. And 5 chord D, G, A, B, C, D, that creates the tension. So in that verse, we've got resolution, sets us off, movement, and tension creates a cliffhanger, making you want to go back and do it again. So relatively straightforward chords in that bit, really quite straightforward. Then in the next section, the chorus, which is really brilliant, we go to the 6th chord, and that creates a little bit of melancholy, and it's a really common thing to do. I'd say it's probably the 4th most common after the 1, 4 and 5 chords. And it's often referred to as a relative minor as well. We've got E minor in this case. Okay, so we've got E minor for a measure, go into D, which is 5, another E minor, and then A. So in effect, we've got 6, 5, 6, so quite an unusual one, that A major. And then we've got my favourite part in the song where it just goes between the tension of the 5 chord and the movement of the 1 chord. And this is the really lovely, you'll come running back, you'll come running back, you'll come running back to me. That bit there. I'm just going to turn my sound down a tiny bit because I realise I'm going a little bit into the red. I tried putting it really high tonight because I know it's quite good when it's a little bit higher, but I'm just going to take it down a little bit. So I don't know, it's probably going to create some feedback on your speakers if it's that high. That's if I can bring it back a little bit. Okay, it might be a bit too low. Just see if I can get it somewhere in the middle. Testing, testing, testing. Just whilst I'm doing that, I'm just fiddling. That should be better. Yeah, that should be better. Now, in the bridge, we go to another one of the chords that we tend to change new sections with, and that's the 4 chord, right? At the start of a new section, we tend to use either the 6 chord or the 4 chord, and this is one of those songs that has both. So the bridge goes to the 4 chord, just a C major. This is a bit where it's kind of spoken word, then back to G. Really simple chords, right? 4. Hiya Pam, no worries. Nice, you got the Yorkshire sunshine. Then we've got the 4 chord, the 6 chord for that little bit of melancholy, right? And then a 2-5, A7, just first finger on the C string, and the tension. And that makes you want to go back to the start. Now that's basically it. That's the same thing over and over. And those last 2 lines of the bridge, we're also going to use for the intro, which is what happens on a record. So a nice way of getting us into the tune. So relatively straightforward, I think, in terms of that. And in terms of the structure, we go intro, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Then we've got a bridge, which is this bit with a spoken word bit. And then at the end, verse, chorus, and we just have one more final verse just to go out on. We keep that just going round and round. Time is on my side. So I think you'll probably get a hang of this relatively straightforward. Now, what we're going to do is in the bridge bit, if you listen to the original record, there's Mick Jagger doing the spoken word bit, but then there's Keith Richards does this like bluesy guitar. And if you want to do a solo, I'll just ever so quickly show you the scale that you can use. It's going to be the blues scale in G. And that's the easiest way to do that is to go way up here to the 7th fret of your C string. Then we're going to go to this note here, the flatted 3rd of the scale, a B flat. So from G here to B flat, so that's 7 to 10 on the C string. And then we're going to go to 8 and 10. In fact, let's fill in the 9 in between 8, 9, 10, and then 8 and 10 down the bottom. Okay, I'll do that again. So the C string was 7, 10, 8, 9, 10, and then 8, 10. So if you want to have a little noodle when I do the spoken word bit, that's a really good scale to use. You can also do the E minor blues scale, which is, this one goes from 4 to 7. And then same shape, we're going to do 7, 8, 9. Sorry, I'm going to do that again. 4 to 7, and then 5, 6, 7. and 5/7. Or but isn't that cool that you've got the same shape right next to each other twice, and you can have a little go at soloing? Let me see if I can get my iPad to play a backing track, and I'll show you the kind of thing you could do. Now they just do some quite long notes where they just hang on the same notes with a bit of a bend, and it sounds really good. Something, let's see, here we go. Let me try this. So something like this. Do lots of bends. Just have loads of fun. I don't use the blues very often, so that was a little bit wayward at times, but it gives you an idea of what you can have a go. So when I'm doing my spoken word bit, if you fancy it, have a little try at doing a little solo over that bit. If not, keep strumming with me and you'll be absolutely fine. Should we give it a go then? Let's give it a go from the top. I'll come in on close cam so you can see what's happening with my what chord I'm on. And then we'll just give it a try from the top. Remember, intro to start with, and remember we're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Coming after 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. E minor. A7. And D. Here we go. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. E minor. Now you always say that you want to be free, but you're running back. You're come running back. You're come running back to me. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. You're searching for good times, but just wait and see. You're coming running back. You're coming running back. You're coming running back to me. Take a solo if you want. Here's the bridge. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. Go ahead and light up the tone. Baby, do anything your heart desires. Just remember, I'll always be around, like I told you so many times before. Whoops. You're gonna come back, baby. Yeah, knocking right at my door. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, my side. Yes, it's time is on my side. Yes, it's time is on my side. Let's end on a big G. Woo! Yeah! Cool. That was a fun one to start with, wasn't it? Just a whole heap of fun. Could you guys let me know if the sound's all right? I can see a little bit of red coming up, which normally means it's distorting. As long as it sounds all right your end, I'm just going to leave it because it's quite nice having that volume and people not having to switch it right up. But just let me know if it's going all crackly and overdriven your end, and I'll turn it down a bit. But fingers crossed, we're all right. Bob Dylan has entered the building. Hi Esther, hope you're keeping well. Hope you're doing well. And Barbara's a little bit late to the party as well. That's all right, Barbara. No worries. Time wasn't on your side. Very good. What a great song to get us going though. And as I say, really, really interesting. I had no idea if that was a cover from the Rolling Stones. And again, it makes complete sense. Most of their songs were really covers. So I don't know why I didn't think that. But yeah, interesting. So yet again, a brilliant, fascinating fact this week, which teaches me something new about music, which is good. Oh, apparently it sounds good. Thanks, guys. Much, much appreciated. I'll just leave it as it is then. Fantastic. Make a note of some of those chords. Notice that in this song there's lots of 2s and 6s. Generally, as I say, the most common chords that will come up in any key are the 1, 4 and 5 chords, but this one has lots of 2s and 6s, that E minor and the A chords. And we're going to see those later on with a couple of the other pieces, so it's going to be a bit of a theme for the night. Kind of all goes back to jazz music. One of the most common chord progressions in the whole of jazz music is a 1-6-2-5. So those 6 and the 2 chords come up quite often in that context, which is great. So yeah, exactly, Asia. It's crazy, isn't it? I had no idea. So it's you learn something new. Phil Davidson, who actually he built this ukulele playing, funny enough. His motto when I was learning to build ukuleles with him was that every day is a school day, and I think it's right. I think every day you learn something new. That's what makes life interesting, right? So yeah, cool. Let me know how you got on with that one, guys. Let's have a look at our next tune. So there we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely. It's a good old strum, that one, isn't it? It really keeps you going. It's a bit of a workout, especially in this heat as well. So yeah. Good. Ah, thanks guys. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay, let's have a look at the next song. Just going to pop these ones off and then we'll bring the sheets back on for a second. There we go. So this next song, it's like a proper 80s pop song. So we're going to do a Cyndi Lauper song next. And it's a really, really beautiful song. I was thinking as I was practicing these earlier that I think Cyndi Lauper is a really underrated songwriter. I think because she did Girls Just Want to Have Fun, everyone kind of thinks, not everyone, but a lot of people think of her as a kind of a novelty act. But actually, when you get into some of her songs like Time After Time and True Colours, they're really, really beautifully well written, gorgeously crafted songs. So, and this is no exception. This is a really beautiful one. Apologies, all of these are slightly out of my comfort zone for my vocals tonight. It's just, I didn't want to change them to another key because it made the chords too difficult, but this one I've got to sing falsetto on. So if I break anyone's mirrors or glasses or anything, I apologise in advance. But yeah, this is a lovely song. Now this one's quite interesting. So it opens up with a 4-5-3-5 combination, and that happens again and again in the song. You can see it up here in the intro, which we're also going to do as the interlude. So 4 creates a sense of movement, so we're already opening with a sense of movement happening on the very first chord. 5 creates tension. Now that 3 chord that comes in is really important because the 3 chord in any key, we often refer to it as the heartbreak chord. it comes up in the saddest of tunes and in the saddest of moments in songs. You choose a Beatles song and you look for the 3 chord, and it's always like his girl's left him or something's gone wrong. And so that's where that one comes in. So a 4-5-3-5, which is really lovely. Now this one, we're just going to do a really standard calypso strum. Just your down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, which is really, really lovely. So that's, yeah, totally, Wayne. Yeah, thank you. Well, hopefully, hopefully I can do that. Cool. So if you want to think about that phonetically, think of it as walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. Sorry if I look distracted. There's a swallow that keeps flying right up to my window, and I think I've got spiders on the outside of the barn, and I think he's picking them off one by one. It makes me jump because he looks like he's flying right towards the window, and I think he's going to hit it, but he doesn't. So sorry, that's why I'm jumping. But so walk, running, and running. Walk, running, and running. Now, if you find that tough, you could just do a standard 1, 2, 3, 4, or you could even do straight 8s, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and any of those will be absolutely fine. So we're back in 4/4 time now, so we're counting 4 beats per time, which is great. So yeah. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, it's on CBS Sunday morning. Oh, I'll have to see if you can find the link, Sheila. That sounds interesting. Okay. So that means the first bit, the intro and interlude, will just sound like this. F, G, E minor, and F. Okay, let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, G, E minor, back to F. Let's try again. Remember my little trick as well. G to E minor, you can put your little finger up there on that 4th fret of the C string, because it cancels out this one. So when you do this G to E minor here, if you want, you can just add that finger down. 2, 3, 4. E minor and F. Here we go again. That's lovely. Now we're going to do that at the start for the intro, but we're also going to do that as a little interlude. It comes in after the first chorus. Okay, so just have a look out for that. That's going to be our interlude. Now the verse is really interesting. We only have 2 chords, the 2 and the 1 chord, which is quite unusual. Normally the 2 chord is paired up with the 5 chord to create a kind of sense of tension. But here we have a kind of, I guess, almost like a sense of melancholy. And then that's relieved by going straight to the 1 chord, which feels resolved. Now, it's quite tricky because you've got to go from this D minor to a C chord. And can you see how that's quite a big movement like that? So what I like to do is I like to play the C chord with my little finger, and then I can pivot on it like this between the chords. See that? You only need to hover these fingers, keep them nearby. Okay. Yeah, tick-tock of a clock. I love that, Karen. And 2 beats of each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, half a measure of each. And it just goes round and round like that. Lying in my bed, I hear... Sorry, I'm going to do that again. 2, 3, 4. Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and I think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. There we go. I got the words right in the end. I couldn't quite piece it together there for a second. Then we go to this really beautiful pre-chorus. And if you look really carefully, F, G, E minor, F, it's basically the intro and interlude I was telling you about, that 4-5-3-5, but quicker. so we only have 2 beats of each. So we have F to G, E minor, back to F, F to G, and then it hangs on this E minor. Then we do it again, F, G, E minor, F. Then the very first verse, we have this grey box, a quick, and then we're back to our verse. Okay. Every other pre-chorus, you ignore that grey box. It only happens in the first one. And it's kind of a clever little thing that she does. You think it's going to go to the chorus, because she even sings time after, but then she never completes the sentence. It goes back to another verse. I'll tell you what, I'll play a pre-chorus and you can hear what I mean, and you'll see how it fits together. Okay, I'll come in and close camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. Suitcase of memories, time after sometimes you picture me. See how it's interesting? It sounds like time after time is going to go to the chorus, but it doesn't. So really interesting kind of device there at the end of that pre-chorus. Now, when you go back and you do the second pre-chorus, you completely miss out the grey box. And we have this really unusual chord progression for the chorus, a 5, 6, 4, 5, 5, 6, 4, 5. Really interesting. You quite often get a 1, 6, 4, 5, but this is a 5, 6, 4, 5. It's really clever. What Cyndi Lauper's doing is she's creating tension right from the very first chord. Because remember the 5 chord, and we're in the key of C now, so G is the 5 chord, C, D, E, F, G. The 5 chord is all about creating tension. So we get a really kind of angsty feel at the start of the chorus, which is really beautiful. If you're lost, you can look in. I told you it'd have to be falsetto. You will find me. And then that's resolved when we go to the 4. The 4, 5, 1 for the time after time. I'll show you what I mean. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. Isn't that really beautiful? You get that tension and then the release, which I think is really gorgeous. Beautiful songwriting. So tension, melancholy, resolution. Tension, melancholy, resolution. Tension, melancholy, resolution. Isn't that clever? Like I said, brilliant, underrated songwriter. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now that's mostly it. Okay, so we have lots of going round and round. Now, as I say, it's always handy to have both sheets available if you can, or you can flip between the two. This gives you the structure. So we've got verse, pre-chorus, and then the full chorus. Notice that first chorus is very long. We play those chords twice. Then we've got an interlude, which is the same as the intro. And then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, instrumental chorus. So when we do the second chorus, there's only 2 of the main bit. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. And then we do it instrumentally. So where it says instrumental chorus, just the same chords, but you just play them through instrumentally. Like that. So you'll soon get the hang of it. If you want to, you can do a little solo on that bit using the C major pentatonic scale. So remember, your C major pentatonic is the one where you can play all your dots on your A string. So you can play your open A, you can play C here, 3rd fret, D, 5th fret, E, 7th, G temp, A up here. So the A minor pentatonic is the same as the C major. You can also play your notes on your E string. Just got to remember to play the 8th fret rather than the 7th. That's the only one that's not a dot. And you can also play off 2 down here for C, D, and off 3, and off 3. So if you think about just playing your dots, this is a really easy one, just to add a little bit of a solo lick. You can have a little play around. So just have a little noodle around on that bit if you want. If you're not sure, just strum the chords to the chorus and it'll still sound really lovely, which is lovely again. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring that comment on screen because it's really lovely. Karen's just saying how that changed between D minor and C. It's almost like the ticking of a clock, which makes sense because of the theme of the piece and everything, which is really, really interesting. So yeah, I like that, guys. Cool. Okay. So let's give this one a go then. As I say, apologies about the singing. This is way out of my key, and I'm no Cyndi Lauper, but I'll give it my best. I give it my best inner Cyndi for you. Okay, and you guys can sing along anyway, obviously. All right, I think that's everything I needed to tell you about that one. Yeah, let's just give it a go. Let's see how we get on. I'll come in on close camera again so you can follow my chords. Just going to have a quick swig of juice because it's quite a tricky one to sing this one. Sorry, guys, you still want a close up of me drinking juice, do you? It's bad enough, not in close up. Okay. I love this stuff. It's really unhealthy, it's full of sugar, but mango flavour. Oh, it's so nice when it's hot like this. It's lovely. Okay, all right, let's try it from the top. Really nice and slow. Okay, about here. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, E minor, and F. We're going to do that again. Then here comes our first verse. Lying in my bed, hear the clock tick and I think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. Flashback to warm nights, almost left behind. Suitcases of memories, time after sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me. I can hear what you say. Then you say, go slow. I fall behind. The second hands are wide. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. Last three chords. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Yeah. Oh man, I love that song so much. I've really I grew up, I was born in 1979, cards on the table now. So I was born in 1979 and my kind of formative years were in the 1990s. So, you know, I grew up listening to the Manic Street Preachers, Oasis and all that sort of stuff. So us 90s kids, we kind of look back to the 60s for our music. So, you know, the Oasis were influenced by the Beatles, Blur were influenced by the Kinks, and we look back. And I kind of totally bypassed the 1980s. But it's really in the last 10 years when my kids are starting to grow up. And Cyndi, my eldest, she's got really into 80s music. She loves that, especially like the female singer-songwriters. So I've started to listen to loads of it. And I've really realised that it's a lost decade for me. And because it was my childhood, it brings back so many memories. So just singing this song, it takes me back to a time and place. And I don't know if you guys find that as well when you play music from a certain era. Or perhaps, you know, moments of your life, it comes back to you, doesn't it? And I guess because it was my childhood, and, you know, I'll be honest, I had a really nice childhood. I did. You know, I grew up in the countryside. I loved it. So I've got all these happy memories. So it's kind of really sweet singing these songs from the 80s. So there we go. Yeah, Sandy's got great taste. She's re-educating me, Esther, in music. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, let me know how you got on, guys. Thanks, Barbara. I think my voice is going already. It's a hard one to sing that, so apologies for the falsetto. As I say, I'm not quite Cyndi Lauper, but ho ho. Let us know how you got on with that. Any questions, let me know. So the most important thing is really with these evenings, see if you can spot those kind of really interesting chord progressions. So that verse, if nothing else, the verse you could do, couldn't you, without looking? Just think D minor to C. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly, Wayne, exactly. And then the chorus is relatively easy to remember as well. I think the pre-chorus is a little bit tricky because sometimes it only stays on the E minor for 2 beats and other times 4 beats. So you have to be a bit on the ball for that. But the others are relatively straightforward, which is really great. So yeah, let us know how you got on with that one anyway. So cool. Yeah. A teenager in the adult years are formative. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense, Karen. Totally. I guess that's right. I'd still listen to 90s music. I probably, nowadays, this sounds really weird, but I mostly listen to music from before I was born. So, you know me, I'm big into my jazz and blues. So I listen to a lot of stuff from the 20s and 30s, which is quite a few years before I was born. But then I love the 60s stuff as well. So, yeah, it's nice. She's just turning. She's actually Rebecca and everyone, if anyone's interested. Sandy's got her induction to big school this week, so she went to big school, the secondary school for the first time. I guess that'd be high school in America. She went there for the first time today. She was so nervous, but apparently she had a really fantastic time, which is great. And then she starts properly there in September, and then she'll turn into a proper teenager. So that's a little bit scary. So yeah. Let's have a look. So curious, looked like you played the E minor as 032. What it was, Sheila, it's my little cheat for the G to the E minor. So when I play a G chord, I just come in on close camera so I can show you. Go on, close camera. There we go. This is being really slow tonight, that one. Yeah, so what I do, Sheila, when I'm coming from the G, I'll quite often just put my pinky down here. So it's still the same as playing a normal E minor like this, but I put my little pinky down there. So that might have been what you're seeing. But sometimes I will do my 1, 2, 3 like that. Just because if it's not kind of immediately following a G, I just find it easier to just play a normal E minor like that. I think all of these do follow a G, so I don't know why I switch between the two. But yeah, it's either that or I'm doing this one with that little finger. If you've got low G, sometimes it's quite nice to play it this way and add a finger to the G string as well, the 4th fret, because that stops that booming G string. But it's quite a squish. I'm playing a concert tonight, and that's a bit of a squish for me. So if in doubt, just do your normal up and down the stairs, which is a really good thing to do. So yeah, yeah. I think I was quite lucky. Mum and Dad used to listen to music, and my grandma and granddad as well. So I think I kind of grew up with it. So I remember listening to. I got really into the Pet Shop Boys when I was really young. I remember being on holiday and my brother had the tape of oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what the album was. Oh, I can't remember now. It had the one with Domino dancing on. And so I got really into. I think I started quite early, but yeah, she's really getting into her music now, which is great. Anyway, I'm gabbing on. Let me show you the next song. Just a reminder, just ever so quickly. So if anyone's around on Wednesday, I've got my next live lesson. Remember, gold members and silver members, I think. You get the worksheets at no extra cost on the website. So just follow the link and you'll get all the worksheets for this. Otherwise, it costs £5 for the worksheets. It's completely free to just take part in the lesson. This Wednesday at 3:30, and we're looking at line cliche. It's where you get these lovely little runs of notes in amongst the chords, and it kind of really brings sections together. Another famous example, which is a slower example of line cliche, is something. Something in the way she moves attract me like no other lover. So that you've got line cliche going down the A string there. So that's something well worth looking at, because line cliche, adding it to your playing, is such a cool way to sound really good, and it just is a gorgeous thing to do. So have a look at that for sure. So, oh, classical music, barbershop. Ah, well, it probably explains the 60s stuff, Karen. You won't be surprised to know that my mum was big into the Beatles. So we had the Beatles in our house, and I think the first official record I ever got, which wasn't a record, it was a cassette. My mum bought me the best of John Lennon when she passed away. I must have been only a baby or a toddler, but yeah. So that was me. So that's why I'm into all my 60s stuff. I don't think I could. I was trying to look see if I could find the flyer for the cruise, but I can't find it anywhere at the moment. But if you are interested, it'll be on all the emails that I send out on my mail outs, and it will be on my website. And we're having a really cool ukulele cruise. And how many days was it? Let me see. Somewhere here I've got how many days it was. Harry posted it. 249 days. We're going cruising in the Caribbean. Ukuleles, cocktails, tropical islands. What's not to love? It's going to be amazing. So come and join us if you can. You can always contact Harry or Donna for more information on that one. Okay, right. Let's head back into our sheets. Now here comes the Bob Dylan impression. This is for Esther. We're going to have a look at times they are a-changing. So let's have a look. I think it was this one that set me off on my journey for the theme. Normally I pick a song that I really like and then work out if I can work out a theme around it. And I was thinking time after time. Oh yeah, it is just the gold members. Thank you. Thanks, Esther. Yeah, it's only £2 extra from silver, so well worth getting. If you do gold membership, you get access to all of the courses, and there's 10 of them now, and I'm building more all the time. I'm also going to add even more lessons to the courses that are already there in the coming months. So well worth the investment if you can do it. You get your fortnightly lesson worksheets at no extra cost as well. Plus you can send me emails via my priority email, and you can send me video submissions if you're playing as well. So definitely well worth ago. All the information, don't disappear now, but it's all on mattsteadukulele.com. You can have a look. And we've also got the app as well. So if you've got an iPhone or an Android phone, you can access every single lesson from the courses and all of the pieces of music, all downloadable in the palm of your hand. So check that out as well. Been working like a maniac on that, so I'm pleased to get it done. Okay, here we go then. Times they are changing. There we go. My mum's here. There we go. First record my mum bought was She Loves You by the Beatles. Do you remember, Mum? I think you bought me Imagine, didn't you? I think that was the cassette. I think you were quite upset when John Lennon died, so you kept playing that. So there you go. That's my musical education right there. Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look. A bit of Bob Dylan. Now this one is an absolute classic chord combination here. We've got a 1, 6, 4, 1, and then a 1, 2, 4, 5. So two classic combinations of chords, both in one song, and they just happen over and over. So we're in the key of G, like we were in the first one. Oh, no worries, Lyndon. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You guys are like my ambassadors for letting people know about the membership. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So this one's in the key of G. So G's our 1 chord. So we've got our 1 chord setting us off on the G. Then we've got the 6 chord. Have you noticed how often that 1 chord is followed by the 6 chord, that E minor again? And you can use just your little pinky like this to go from that G to E minor, just like I was showing you guys in that last song. The reason they both fit together is that the E minor is only 1 note different. Okay, there's G, there's E minor, so they segue beautifully into each other. And that minor chord just creates just a touch of melancholy. Then we've got the change chord C, just creating movement. We're back to 1 chord, okay? Now this one is in strict 3/4 timing, okay? So we could just strum 3 down strums per measure, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we've got our next combination. We've got the 1 chord again. Then the 2, which is a slightly sadder minor chord than the 6 chord. Then the movement again. Notice by finishing this line with the D chord, it creates tension which makes you want to go back to the start. G, A minor, C. There's our tension. It's like it's asking a question. We do it again. G, E minor, C, and G. And then this time, the tension comes 1 measure early, which leads you into the chorus. Now the chorus is quite unusual in this one because the chorus is starting with that 5 chord, and I love this. Bob Dylan kind of took this from earlier folk tunes and kind of moulded it, changed the time signature and stuff. I love this tension of this 5 chord because it finishes the verse and starts the chorus. So you get this, let me just get my lyrics ready so I can sing it to you. There we go. So we get this lovely, and you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. All that tension is finally relieved when we go to the 1, 4, 5, 1. For the times they are a-changing. So once you get into it, this is a really nice one to play off by heart. You'll soon get the hang of it. 1, 6, 4, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 6, 4, 1, 2, 5. Then we stay on that tension, stay on the tension, really ratchets it up. Then we go to resolution. All about that resolution. Oh, we've got a question here. So, Esther's just asking, normally it would be the 5 chord played as a 7th to create tension. Ah, that's really interesting. That simply goes back to the fact that a lot of old time songs, they kept sort of more basic chords, because a lot of this stuff, if you think about it, it came from kind of mountain music. So if you think of old time music, which eventually transformed into bluegrass in the Blue Ridge Mountains, it was all simple chords, the 1, 4, and 5, and really strong melodies, really strong melodies. So because folk music grew out of that scene, so really old time music became the folk music of the 50s and then the 60s. There's a direct correlation between the two. And in fact, that Appalachian, that old time music really goes back to kind of Scots-Irish music that then from when the immigrants went over and they settled in Appalachia. And then they got a little bit of blues influence. That's how that all grew. Long story short, folk music just tends to use simple major and minor chords, and then the 5 chord, they just do it as a major chord, because it didn't really, that music didn't have the sophistication of things like jazz, which then brought in the dominant 7th chords. So think of it as just simple, basically. And Bob Dylan was massively influenced by Woody Guthrie, and Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, all these guys were influenced from the early folk scene and that mountain music. So long story short, it's just keeping it simple. So yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Bee Gees, love it. That's great. There's nothing wrong with the Bee Gees. Now there's a band that can sing in falsetto, eh, Rebecca? A lot better than me. Staying alive. Just amazing. Saturday Night Fever's like an amazing soundtrack, isn't it? So yeah, I always thought of it as a really happy album, but it's quite dark, isn't it, actually? But yeah, quite cool. Anyway, that's the explanation of the 5 chord. So in terms of strumming, you can either keep it to really simple 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, thanks, Esther. Thank you. That's really kind. You know me. I love the music theory. And when you kind of know about some of the history, it brings it to life even more, and it just kind of it makes you enjoy it even more, doesn't it? I get really overwhelmed with stuff like that. I think it's kind of the kind of intense artistic side of me sometimes. This weekend, I was reading some Ernest Hemingway, some of his early short stories, and at the same time, I was listening to some jazz music. And my brain was just like, isn't it amazing that there's like all this amazing great writing? I could read like books to the end of time and I still wouldn't read every book that's been produced. And there's all this music and it's just like, oh, so good. Just had one of those moments this weekend where it's like, I just want to listen to records and read books. Anyway, right, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm getting a bit mad tonight. I haven't had a drink, I promise. It is just mango juice. Right, okay. So you can just strum just those 3 strums per measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or if you want to make it a little bit more interesting, you can do down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That's relatively easy to do as well. And that's what I'm going to do through this. I might even sneak in a little bit of Dylan voice just because Karen asked, and I know Esther loves it so much. We'll see. Hang on, let me see if I can do it. Here we go. Come together, round people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. I won't do it for the whole song, I promise. I couldn't resist. That's my karaoke party trick. Okay, right, here we go then. So we're going to keep it going round and round. It literally just goes verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. We've got a little instrumental here, and if you want to play a little solo, you can use the G major pentatonic scale, which is 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. So this is Indrani's My Girl. Okay, you can use that one. You can also use the E minor pentatonic, which is 4, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. Okay, so you can just add a little bit of an instrumental here if you want to, which would be really nice. And we're going to do that after the 3rd chorus, just to add a little bit of change. If you've got a harmonica in the key of G, you can even solo a harmonica on this. That would be amazing. It's really nice playing harmonica on Bob Dylan songs. It will sound something like this. Something like that. Oh, I just realised you couldn't even see what I was doing then. I was noodling away. You probably couldn't see. Sorry, folks, that was a bit daft. But you get the idea. You can have a little noodle away on that bit if you want to. Let's give it a go. Let's have loads of fun, just round and round. What we'll do, just to get us into it, let's do one of the choruses as an intro, because it's a really nice way into the song. So start the chorus and then into a verse. So 1, 2, 3. Come in after 2 lots of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. G, C, D, and a verse. Come gather round people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who it is naming. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hole, for he who gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside is raging, will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, but at times they are a-changing. Try taking a solo. If you're strumming, we're going to do the chorus now. Back to a verse. 2, 3, 4. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are a-changing. One more verse. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast, the slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changing. Yeah, fabulous! What a great song. You guys know that I love Dylan. I just think he's an amazing songwriter, and I think one of the things that I love about him was he changed throughout the years, a bit kind of like David Bowie, I guess. You know, that kind of being able to evolve as an artist, I think is really, really important. And I love that you've got all that early, it's basically Woody Guthrie music, isn't it? A lot of his stuff is very derivative, but you've got this kind of early Woody Guthrie folky influence in the protest songs. Then, of course, you had the Judas moment when he went electric. And I love that, you know, that kind of like a Rolling Stone, and suddenly you get all that kind of, that bluesy feel and Maggie's Farm and all that, which is amazing. And then you've got that really nice kind of 70s stuff where he kind of went back to his roots again. And I love that. But my favourite album of all is Self Portrait, which most people hate. And basically, he was kind of bored of everyone expecting the same old thing from him. So people either wanted protest songs or blues songs. So he did this album, and it's loads of covers mostly. And it starts with that really unusual kind of folk song, doesn't it, with the ladies singing All the Pretty Horses. And it's just really unusual and just beautiful. He's got calypso songs on there. It's really, really an interesting album. It's my favourite of all his albums. But again, he evolved. And even his albums in the noughties, absolutely amazing. He's still got it. And he wrote that Christmas song, didn't he, really, a few years ago, which is brilliant as well. Must be Santa, must be Santa, must be Santa, Santa Claus. He's got a big red nose. Oh, I just love it. Brilliant. Anyway, that's enough of my going on and on about how brilliant Bob Dylan is. Let's have a look at our final song. It's gone really quickly tonight, guys. I don't know whether it's because I've just been jabbering on or what, but it seems to have flown by. I've had so much fun. Thanks again for being part of it, everyone. This last one, this one, I'm going to dedicate this one to Esther, because Esther came up with a new song earlier. If you haven't seen it yet, look on the Uke Student Hangout on Facebook, because she's invented a song. I won't tell you which Beatles song it is, because you have to listen to it and see if you can work it out. And judging on where you work out which song it is, it depends on which type of Beatle you are. I got George Harrison, so it's worth having a look at that later. It's so much fun. And this one's for Esther, because this is a George Harrison tune. Well, when I say it's a George Harrison tune, it's a George Harrison cover, right, of an old tune, but it's absolutely brilliant. Such a great one. And again, this is using really kind of classic chord combinations, basically. So really, really some of the most kind of common chord combinations of all time. We've got a 1, 6, 2, 5. Excuse me. And that's the basis for the whole song. Because if you have a look at these chords up here, the slash marks just mean there's 2 chords per measure. So F for 2, D minor 7 for 2, G minor 7 for 2, C7 for 2. Don't be intimidated by the chords. I'm going to show you how to do them. All right, so don't sweat. I'm all about empowering you, not scaring you, hopefully. That's the idea, right? So this one here, we have a 1, 6, 2, 5. And this all goes back to George Gershwin, right? I got rhythm, I got... It basically goes back to the I got rhythm chords. That's how influential they were in all of music. So in the key of F is the 1 chord, okay? That's your F major. Then we want to go to the 6th chord. Again, it's the relative minor. So it's all about being related. That's why we get that nice segue of voice leading. So we have a D minor. Now, if you can, try and play a D minor 7. The 7 just means the 7th note of D, which is the C note. So it's like a D minor with that finger in. If you want to, you can even play the F like this with this little finger in here. The reason this works is that the notes that make up an F chord are F, A, and C. And as long as you repeat one of those, when we do a normal F, if you like, normal in inverted comma, we have F, A, C, and another A. Well, this one has F, A, C, and another C. Now, the brilliant thing about that F is if you play that for 2 beats, to get to D minor 7, you've just got to add your ring finger down, like that. Then we go to the 2 chord, G minor 7, and then finally the 5 chord, C7. And Esther, going back to that question you asked earlier about the 5 chord, we're in the jazz age now, so that 5 has been turned into a dominant 7th. We've got the more sophisticated chords. And just like that, the minor chord, the D minor, has been turned into a D minor 7. So now we're starting to get those richer sounding chords. So F, D minor 7, G minor 7, C7. Okay? If I do that slowly, it's look and sound like this. Do you see how I pivot on that first finger? I'll do that again. So this chord I just flatten down. And I go again. Then we start out doing the same thing. We have another F. But then we go to an F7. Adds tension. It makes that F chord want to move. We go to the 4 chord of B flat. It's just like that G minor 7 with that extra finger. B flat minor 7. Just bar the first fret like that. You can do a B flat minor 6 there, just barring the bottom 3. Works as well. And then we have F, C7 for the 5 chord, back to F. Now that C7 we play a second time when we're going back to the start. I'll play a verse so you can see what I mean. I'll do it normal pace and I'll do it slow motion. I don't want you. Oh, sorry, I'll do that again. 2, 3, 4. I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Now do that in slow motion so you can follow it. I don't want you. I hate to lose you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Okay, second time we stay on the F. It's a really cool set of chord changes, isn't it? Like I said, if you struggle with a D minor 7, just do a normal D minor. And if you really struggle with the B flat, just do another G minor 7. You can get away with it. And you can even do a B flat minor 6, just with one finger like this. So don't sweat it too much. See if you can join in as much as you can on that. Let's do a slow motion one all together. We'll go really slowly, okay? Come in after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, D minor 7, G minor 7, just strum it up and down. C7, F, D minor 7, G minor 7, C7, F, F7, B flat, and off, F7, C7, so like that, you've got it. Couple of questions. Yeah, Karen, I got rhythm. Honestly, it's so influential. I can't state it enough. So much of jazz just uses those 4 chords. That's what I'm always banging on about, I promise. Wayne, the slashes, they're just to let you know, basically it's just chopping the measures in half. So it just means 2 beats of F followed by 2 beats of D minor 7. 2 beats of G minor 7 followed by 2 beats of C7. It's just a way of chopping the measure in half, a visual thing basically. So don't read into it any more than that. Just think about it as half a measure marker. All right, so 2 of each. Now the next bit is really interesting because this next section changes key. It goes to the key of A major from the key of F major. And again, this is a really common thing to do in jazz, where we'll just change key like that. Jerome Kern was a big fan of changing keys. He used to change keys sometimes, like 3 or 4 times in 8 measures. He was mad like that. And this one, we're changing it. Yeah, definitely half a measure, Wayne. This one, he's changing it when he goes to the chorus. But if you look at the Nashville numbers, it's exactly the same thing, look. 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. So we're still doing 1, 6, 2, 5. So it's just we're in the key of A. So A is 1, and then we count up. A, B, C sharp, D, E. F sharp is 6. A, B, B is 2, and 5 is E7. A, B, C sharp, D, E. Okay. So we have a 1, 6, 2, 5 in the key of A. And to be honest, this is actually easier, I think, because you have A major like this. F sharp minor, you just drop that finger down. Remember, relative minors are always only a 1 note different from the original chord, from the 1 chord. 1, 6. B minor 7, just bar the whole of that fret, 2nd fret, and E7 you all know, just got to drop back there. So 1, 6, 2, 5. Notice that I sometimes double up my bar when I hit this B minor 7 for extra strength. Okay. And we do that twice, and then, believe it or not, we have yet another 1, 6, 2, 5. This is why I love music. It's fascinating. This time in the key of C. C, A minor, D minor 7 like we played earlier, or you can just do D minor, G7. So that's 1, 6, 2, 5 in the key of C. And then finally we have this unusual E flat chord for a measure, 2 G7s, and that C7 is 5 above an F, so it makes you want to go back to the start and do those Fs again. That E flat, just put your first finger here on the first fret of the A string, and then 2 fingers up here on the middle 2 strings of the 3rd fret like this. Okay, looks hard, but it's not too tricky. G7, C7. So I'll do that chorus slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to cross you off my list, but when you come knocking at my door, then see, fate seems to give my heart a twist. And I come running back for more. And then we're back to da, 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 da. So this is a great one for analysing songs with those Nashville numbers, right? Because it's just 1, 6, 2, 5 again and again, but different keys. This is a jazz musician's dream because it's a great chance to practice those most common chord changes in 3 different keys in one short piece of music. Isn't that amazing? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play 2 verses and a chorus really slowly, and we'll just try it. And then if that works well, we'll try it a little bit faster. Okay, but let's do a slow motion version first. Just the first 2 verses and the first chorus. Join in with me after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. C7, and we go again. I forgive you because I can't forget you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Then the chorus, I want to cross you off my list, but when you come knocking at my door, fate seems to give my heart a twist. the start. All right, so that's a bit slow, so we will speed it up a little bit, but just so you can have a go. And if you find this too hard, just sing along, just enjoy yourself, clap your hands, just have fun. It's our last song. It's been a lovely evening, so let's just enjoy it and have a little muck about. Now, I'm going to show you one last thing for this. I'm going to show you how to do a solo in this one, just in case you would like to have a go at that. And for this one, we're going to use the F major pentatonic and the D minor pentatonic. It's relative minor. Now, the F major pentatonic we haven't used very often, but it's the same as the G pentatonic, but a whole step back. So we start it at 5, up to 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Hopefully you're starting to get used to these patterns. Small gap, big gap, big gap. And the D minor pentatonic starts at D minor, and we have big gap, 2, 5, small gap, 3, 5, small gap, 3, 5. So major pentatonic, small gap, big gap, big gap. Minor pentatonic, big gap, small gap, small gap. That's how I think about it. So you can have a little play around with a solo on this. And we're going to do a solo after the third verse. Let me see if I can get my backing track and I'll do a little bit of one so you can have a listen. Have a noodle. It's just fun. Have some fun with it. It's a good one to practice on. And if you really struggle with those chords, maybe just solo through the whole thing. Just give it a go for practicing your soloing, which would be absolutely fantastic. Let's give it a go then. We're going to go a little bit faster than the slow version. We'll do somewhere about here. Let's give it a go. Last one. Thanks so much to everyone for joining in tonight and creating a lovely fun atmosphere as always, guys. So let's give it a go. And I'll stick around to chat at the end, but just in case anyone does need to head off, I'll see you Wednesday for next live lesson and next Monday for another fun Kanikapila. Here we go. Let's do a verse just as an intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. About there. Okay, to the top. I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. I forgive you because I can't forget you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Chorus. Wanna cross you off my list, but when you come knocking at my door, fate seems to give my heart a twist, and I'll come running back for more. I should hate you, but I guess I love you. You've got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Take a solo. fun song, isn't it? Don't worry if you didn't get that this time. That's really hard to pick up in a Kanikapila. It's not really a Kanikapila song, but a while back we did George Harrison tunes, and we couldn't not do it right. This is one that George actually physically used to play on ukulele, so it's a lovely one. And I think if you have a look on Facebook, there's a lovely video of George playing a Kamaka ukulele with this number, so it's definitely well worth checking out. Those of you, I bet most of you already know this anyway, but George Harrison was a massive ukulele nut. He was big time into ukulele, and before he passed away, he used to carry around several in his boot of his what car? I think it was a Bentley he used to drive, and he used to go to the George Formby Society. And if anyone showed like the remotest bit of interest in ukulele, he'd gift them one of these ukuleles that he used to just carry around in the boot of his car. And they weren't like cheap ones either; they were like old Kamakas and stuff, which is just amazing. So really lovely guy. If you've ever watched the Beatles anthology, there's a great part of the interviews at the end where it's George, Ringo, and Paul. Sadly, obviously, John had passed away, and they're all sat on this picnic blanket, and I think it's at Esher where George used to live in his garden, and George just randomly starts doing I think it's Ain't She Sweet. Ain't she sweet? See her walking down the street. I can't quite remember it. But yes, this lovely video of him doing Ain't She Sweet on ukulele, and the other Beatles are kind of just singing along, which is really lovely. So well worth checking out. Oh, the George Harrison video is in the Fascinating Facts. Thanks, Karen. That's absolutely brilliant. Thanks, guys, for amazing sheets again this week as well. Much appreciated. So it's absolutely brilliant. So we're going to be back next week, next Monday, for another Kanikapila. We're getting towards the point where I'm going to be crazy busy, because next month I've got my festivals, the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain that I'm organising, and my Forest Ukulele Retreat. Don't panic, I'm still going to be around. We're just going to have a summer break right at the end of July. But because it's going to be quite difficult and I'm going to be really busy in the next few weeks, what we decided we're going to do is we're going to have some classic Kanikapilas. So don't panic, we're still going to go ahead, but we're going to use songs that we've already used in Kanikapilas before. And that's kind of cool, because it means that some of you will have played them before and you're a bit more used to them. And maybe then you can concentrate a little bit more on the soloing and rhythm and picking and things like that. So I think it'll be a really positive thing anyway. So keep an eye out for classic Kanikapilas coming in the next couple of weeks. We're still going to go ahead the next few Mondays. All right. And of course, don't forget this Wednesday, come and join in my line cliche class. Super excited about this, where we're looking at beautiful mini melodies, and we're going to look at blue skies. And it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. So we're going to have loads and loads of fun with those. That's this Wednesday, 3:30 UK time. If you can't watch it live, you can watch it back any time at all on mattsteadukulele.com. And we have an archive of all the live lessons and all of the Kanikapila. There's literally hundreds of them up there. So head along to mattsteadukulele.com. For the Kanikapila archive, just click on live lessons and it will be there. And also the Wednesday afternoon lessons, if you want to watch back any of the old ones, they're on there as well. And all the sheet music and everything's still available, so you can get that. Gold members obviously get that all for free. Okay, well, I think I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to get outside and have a very late dinner, and I might even water the garden because it's looking absolutely beautiful. I think I can probably show you with my portable phone. Let me see. Will it just... Yeah, there we go. Right, hang on. Let's see. Ta-da! Look, the sun is shining. The weather is sweet. Makes me want to move my dancing feet. So I'm going to get off and enjoy the sunshine. I used to be terrible at watering plants, and I've been so much better this year. I'm proud of my garden this year, so I need to keep it up. Thanks for a lovely evening. Thanks for all your friendship and support, guys. It means the world to me. It's been really marvellous again. I've loved it tonight. So we'll see you again. Hopefully see a load of you on Wednesday. That's going to be a whole heap of fun, isn't it? If not, I'll see you next Monday for the next Kanikapila. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Cheers.